Hello, football lovers. It's another beautiful edition of Football Gazette podcast. And here on Football Gazette podcast, we talk about football. We are all about football. We breathe football, we live football, and we chop football as well.
Football dey true.
Football dey bring money, and
Honestly.
our focus mainly, is all about football. And we dive into the English Premier League like we used to do most times because
Absolutely.
English Premier League is the most, viewed, the most
100.
talked about football
The biggest.
in the whole world. And
100%.
like I saw a news a couple of days ago that one English club, Southampton, are trying to communicate with Real Madrid with the possibility of them having Hendrick on loan. And people are talking on Twitter, like we've seen a couple of English clubs, like smaller clubs in the English football,
absolutely.
and will come for big guys in top league, most especially La Liga. We've had the case of Ansu Fati
from Barca to Brighton. And he go chop bench for there, funny how, because he wasn't really starting. He didn't have playing time. And it's actually funny when you think about it, because people like to compare the La Liga to the Premier League. But I feel like that conversation has actually ended.
Exactly.
Because the Premier League has proven itself to be the biggest league in the world, where anything can happen. I mean, the results from the weekend before, Southampton dealing with the league leaders, that's a big talk right there. So
they try to put something, they try to put something, by trying to spawn Liverpool, but at the end of the day, Liverpool.
Yes. I mean, champions will always show that they are champions, but then we also saw City lose.
Well, like that's part of the beauty of the English Premier League.
Absolutely.
When you see smaller clubs springing up surprises, against the bigger clubs, like Manchester City losing their game against Tottenham Hotspur over the weekend. Although we cannot relatively say Tottenham Hotspur is a small club.
No, it's small. But I mean,
in terms of achievement, in terms of longevity, in terms of doings, talk of doings, Man City is a bigger club than Tottenham. So it's nice to have you on the show today, and I'm Adeshola. You can call me T-Banks, and I'm with my guy here, Adeshola. So let's talk about football. Let's go into the business of the day. City Liverpool. A lot of people have been saying the league this season, talking about the English Premier League. Like you all know, people have been saying this league is between Liverpool, City, and I'm wondering why are people taking Arsenal out of the equation?
Obvious reasons. Slowly add it up. I mean, come on.
What is obvious here? I want to hear from you.
Obvious reasons. I mean, Arsenal has shown in the past 2 seasons that they cannot be trusted. Honestly.
So this is about Liverpool City.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that yet. I mean, I'm going to wait till the middle of the season before I can make an assertion like that. But I feel like Arsenal, for me, although I don't like Arsenal from the beginning, normally, I don't like Arsenal. Like Arsenal fans, I know
the hardcore hater.
Not be hater, but like I know just stay with Arsenal at all, and for no reasons actually. I just do not like the club. Because one time I've been dating one babe. She says she like Arsenal because the players fine. That time I never fine, but then God said I don't fine like this.
But then they even get mouths. Now their mouths only make something like that.
But they are too loud. So I feel like Arsenal in the past 2 seasons have proven that it cannot be trusted.
I'm going to throw something at you.
Okay, what's that?
You have time to throw it back at me. But
okay.
Let's just put that aside now and dive into City Liverpool. At the moment. Liverpool is the league leader with 8 points.
For now,
Man City is behind them. And looking at the gap, Liverpool leading by 8 points. We've seen Liverpool when they mean business.
Absolutely.
Seasons they've won the league with Jurgen Klopp. Over the past years that they've won the league. Like when Liverpool is in the conversation of the league
winners,
they are not butlers. When they are in the conversation of the league,
Arsenal fans, Liverpool are not butlers.
Like I'm just trying to let people understand the fact that Liverpool being in the conversation of the league now is
a big
quite ball game entirely.
Different.
It's different from what we've had with Arsenal in the couple of seasons ago. Arsenal, Man City, 2 seasons back to back, and Liverpool in the conversation now, leading by 8 points. I think they are fueled by that consistency that they've been having under Ancelotti. Wouldn't you give kudos to Ancelotti for doing it?
But I must also remind you that this certain Liverpool actually finished the season with 90 plus points some seasons ago, but they still did not win the league.
But that particular season,
and Man City,
we all know, but Man City use everybody eyes.
But then that same Man City that is in the same conversation with them now is the one they are in the conversation with at the moment. I feel like for now, Man City are actually not on their A game. In fact, they are not even on their B game at the moment.
Or they are not even on their game at all.
Okay, let me say they are on their C game.
Back-to-back 4 losses.
5 now. 5 in all competitions. But then I feel like it's just a phase. Although people believe that maybe Guardiola has lost his thing on the Premier League, and maybe people are beginning to figure out, the play pattern and everything. But I feel like Man City's problem is deeply rooted, and beyond what people are saying, that it's a Rodri problem. For instance, Haaland is not a machine. Haaland needs to rest. Haaland cannot keep.
Does it look like someone that needs to rest?
We are all humans. Don't be
watching him on the past international break, the most recent one.
Yes, I get. He scored an hat-trick.
He scored an hat-trick.
Yes, I understand that. But then,
doesn't look like someone who needs rest.
Well,
he's hungry. Look hungry.
Well, but then, okay, the truth is, you cannot deliver week in, week out in the Premier League for 4-5 seasons consistently. There will be times when your form will not be at the top.
You're right.
There will be times when you will not deliver, your A game
and that's where alternative comes in from.
Exactly.
When something is not
when
working
you can
for
switch things up a little bit and that.
And I've give kudos to Pep Guardiola for doing that over the couple of years. When he was working from one position,
he switches up things. But now it's just like one now. There's no other alternative for Man City as it is right now.
Or Guardiola is not looking at the alternatives.
Well, I would not say he's not looking.
Are you saying Guardiola doesn't have alternatives?
I would want to say that he's been caught slacking.
That's the word.
Because normally, City have found themselves in positions like this in previous seasons where a key player gets injured. KDB one time was injured for a lot of months, some seasons ago. And Man City still tried. They still, were floating and were able to sail to the shore. But this season, the absence of Rodri was the beginning of everything. But that's not the only thing. You get me?
Yeah.
That was the beginning. But it's not everything. Man City have a problem. Okay, now, in recent games of Man City, if you've observed, I do not know if you have, but I get to, listen to some, European analysts talk about Man City's game. And a couple of them talked about how Walker is getting tired. A certain Kyle Walker
and there's options.
Is not tracking back as much as he used to
there's
before.
Options,
But Pep Guardiola is just like...
You can fill in into that.
Pep Guardiola is like, this is my pattern of play. This is what I want to do. This is how I want it to be. And it's like almost sticking to it and, remaining adamant and not, switching things up. So I feel like Pep Guardiola needs to actually go back to the board.
Like you said earlier,
he's been caught slacking. Honestly, I feel like that's the situation.
But Guardiola being caught slacking, I think a lot of people are quite, giving the accolades to Ancelotti for doing it. I'm not taking that away from him. He has been doing a wonderful job.
Of course, yes. We have to reiterate that. That one team is not performing does not mean the other team is not doing what they
straight to work.
Absolutely.
I'm not fully.
He's eating the reward of Klopp's work.
Now where to go with that? I'm not fully giving the accolades to
him
and Slot because,
absolutely
because I'm seeing Liverpool as a team that they've been building for a couple of years now.
Of course, yes.
It's a work in progress.
Almost 7 years now.
And that's why when Ancelotti came in, he came in and the transitioning was as smooth
absolutely.
as anything.
It was almost as if he came into an already cooked and already made team. You understand? And I feel like his what's the word now? His ideology about football as well, and his managerial efficiency.
I think you have to give that to the Liverpool management. Looking for a manager that suits the ideology that is on ground.
And, just scatter everything that
not a manager that is bringing new style of play, new ideology, new pattern into the team. Because if you are looking at clubs in the Premier League that have made such mistakes in the past, can't Chelsea, who can't even Arsenal.
Even going for
Arsenal is part of it.
Let's even start from lower teams. Let's start from Leicester City. The season after Leicester City won the league, when they started selling off their players. A couple of seasons down the line, they had coach changes, and now they've sacked their coach.
And their ideologies are changing.
Just after 5 months. More problems for them. They might even relegate at this point if they are not careful. So I feel like what you're saying about, Ancelotti coming in and just, going with the flow, and of course, keying into the already laid down, foundation that Klopp left at Liverpool is one of the things that's making Liverpool sail right now. And I feel like if he was not that kind of person, would have been problematic for. Look at Manchester United.
Exactly, that's where I'm going because if
look at my mind,
if Ancelot's ideology, doesn't correlate with the already late term, plans, the style, the discipline,
It would have been
the
difficult.
Liverpool team,
It would have been very difficult.
the past season would have been
Honestly.
difficult transitioning from Jurgen Klopp ball to Ancelot's ball. But the transition was just so smooth.
But now nobody's
it's not a fluke.
Yeah, nobody's even talking about.
Some people are saying what Ancelot is doing as a fluke. To me, I didn't see it as a fluke. You understand the game, you understand the players, and that's why he's been playing the players in a different positions. And today you see Gakpo, tomorrow is Luis Diaz. The results are coming in,
and it's getting results, honestly. And I feel like that's a very, very good thing, actually.
So before we end this segment, I said I kept something for you the other time.
Okay.
I'm giving you 3 poisons now. You have to give me 2.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
3 poisons. Poison 1, Arsenal to win the league after missing out for over 2 decades now.
Which Arsenal?
Liverpool to do poison 2.
Which Arsenal?
Wait, let me count the poison finish before you pick one. Say you don't pick one already. Say you don't pick one already. Yeah. Poison 1, Arsenal winning the league.
Come on, Arsenal for this poison.
Chill.
Oh yeah.
Poison 1, Arsenal winning the league after 2 decades of missing out.
Okay.
Poison 2, Liverpool winning the league and becoming the most decorated team in the history of English Premier League. Poison 3, Man City beating the league on everybody's head. Just one.
Liverpool, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Liverpool.
What do you mean, fam?
Yeah, Liverpool. Honestly, I know it's not good for Man United fans.
Yeah, throw it to me.
Okay. Okay, Arsenal to win the league.
Okay.
Liverpool to win the league and become the most decorated in the history of Premier League, and Man City.
I don't want that. I don't want that 5 beating. It's embarrassing.
You don't want?
Nah. It's out of it.
So Liverpool or Arsenal?
Like the records Man United are holding. It's making us feel we are still the king.
For now, I mean that's the reason why we can still join.
Liverpool should win the league. We are out of the king of.
No, we are not out. I mean,
take Arsenal winner.
What?
I'll take Arsenal.
See, the funny thing is, do you know one funny thing? Arsenal fans, I feel like if you guys can switch positions with Liverpool at the moment, if Arsenal can be top of the league right now with 8 points, they will still bottle the league.
Well, that's a conversation for another day.
Honestly, I feel like that's gonna happen. Honestly.
So let me throw this to you, Shola. City Liverpool game coming on this weekend. The form Liverpool is having, the problem Man City is having at the moment.
Now the first problem for Man City
back-to-back losses
is that they are going to Anfield.
Problem
That's
number 1.
The first problem. So there's more.
Problem number 2.
More problems.
Inform Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
On fire.
Liverpool
Salah
has won our last 5 games. Man City has lost our last 5 games, which is actually something that's never happened in the history of the club under Guardiola. Not like it hasn't happened before. It has happened, of course, Man City. But then since the takeover of the oil moguls, it's never happened.
So and, 5 back-to-back losses, for Liverpool.
5 back-to-back wins.
5 back-to-back wins for Liverpool. So like, are you saying it's gonna be clean slate for Liverpool against City over the weekend?
Not necessarily, but then Liverpool have a chance to go 11 points clear.
11 points clear
at the top.
That's on that morale booster.
So I mean, they're going to be looking at it, from that angle and looking at it like, okay, what's going to happen if we win this game? 11 points.
And if you sit back and just hold a point and
that's going to be 9 points. So I feel like what's going to happen is
it's still going to remain as 8 points.
Okay, yes, they will share points
depending on who's coming,
yeah,
who's overtaking.
Yes,
City at the second position.
So I feel like moving into the game, Liverpool are well poised to win the game, honestly, because the confidence is right there. And of course, where the game will be happening is at Anfield.
The Liverpool's fortress.
We all know how Anfield is.
Cup end.
Although the last 2 times Liverpool and Man City, met. Okay. Let me not say the last 2 times, but then their last 2 games, where a side won was won by Manchester City, by the way. Okay, the last time Liverpool beat Man City was in 2022. So that was like 2 years ago. But then want to expect
Liverpool can bank on the mystery of
City. But also Pep Guardiola can just spring up something. The boys might just want to make a statement.
We talked about something earlier, Guardiola switching up,
switching up tactics in his team and all that. So I feel like it actually depends on the confidence of City boys, because their confidence level right now is almost 0. And going to face Liverpool at Anfield is actually a Herculean task for them. But I'm going to tip Liverpool to win, honestly. Liverpool would carry the
So your prediction?
My prediction may be a 2-1 win.
My own prediction is Liverpool's probably going to win by 3-1.
3-1.
Yes.
I don't see City conceding 3 though, by the way. But I feel like City will score first in that game.
And Liverpool will come back with 3
Liverpool
goals.
will come back and okay, maybe with 2 goals.
All right. Let's focus on United for a few minutes.
Wow, I don't like all this.
I know you're a United fan. I'm a United fan.
I mean, a die-hard one.
Let's talk man to man.
Maybe one day talk sorrowfully like
as
this.
Man U family. What do you think is wrong with Amorim's setup? Me personally, I'm not seeing anything wrong with the setup. Like, he has let us know that he's coming with his new idea, and he's not doing what the previous coach is doing just for us to see the season out, and come next season, he's bringing his new idea.
Yeah.
It's starting with his new idea from day one.
Absolutely.
And he has started already, and we saw that against Ipswich. I watched the game.
What did you
How
see?
are you feeling?
What did you see? You just said you watched. What did you see?
Honestly, I saw a man with an honest idea, and I saw a bunch of players that are not catching up with the idea.
Okay. I didn't see anything, no. Honestly, I didn't see nothing. Personally, I haven't seen anything. Maybe I will in our next game. But for me, I'm not going to hide behind any guys. I didn't see nothing. Because it was almost as if it was just a rinse and repeat, just a switch of managers. Many Manchester United fans are saying
rinse and repeat?
Rinse and repeat of the attitude of the players.
Okay.
That's what I mean to say. Because many Man United fans are feeling like if it was Ruud van Nistelrooy that managed the game against Ipswich, Man United would have done better. I do not agree. But I do not disagree. So let's agree to disagree on that.
But the thing is, when the management said, they are giving us long-term solution, and as fans, we expect quick. We know the long-term solution would definitely be, changing style of play.
Of course, yes.
Adapting to.
But did you see any style of play against Ipswich?
No, we saw it. We saw it on paper.
Okay, on paper. No. Like, if it's not on the field, then
we saw it on paper.
Invalid. If it's not on the field,
that's why I said, I saw idea of the manager, but I saw players not catching up with the idea of the manager. So this brings me to this question. Let me ask you: would you have said, Amorim should have waited till end of season before he joined Man United? Because there are people saying he should have, why did he rush?
He should have come in at this time.
He shouldn't have come in at this time. He should have waited till the season is over.
Well, we are not
coming.
We are not midway into the season yet, so I don't feel like it's a bad time. I mean, we have 36 games to play. We haven't played 18 yet, so we are not midway yet. So it's still a good time for him to come into the team. And I feel like the only reason why it might end up being a bad time for him is if the players are not ready to do their work. Because this man looks like someone who's ready.
But you don't do show. Say
that's
some
what I'm
players
saying.
are not
But I'm
ready
not
to do
seeing
their work.
nothing. Like these players.
You can be mentioning names.
Honestly,
I know.
For a start, Marcus Rashford, after that goal, he went missing in the game. Never tracked back.
You go dialogue. You can be mentioning names.
I mean, many of them like that.
We have names.
I feel like if, a certain Luke Shaw that came back from injury even did better than a certain Dalot or Marcus Rashford on the field of play that day. So it brings me down to, this statement I'm always very, very quick to throw out, that until we change these players from inside, we cannot change them on the field.
And I'm of the opinion that no matter the number of players the manager wants to ask, 5, 6, 7, as a fan, I don't care. Just make your system work.
Let me tell you something. There was a time in the Premier League when Brighton was a force to reckon with. Brighton does not have A-class players. Brighton does not have players carrying the team on their head. Brighton have a system of play.
Working system.
Visible. The players were willing to do the work. When ETH joined Man U, Erik ten Hag, he came with a system from Ajax. Yeah. We all saw it. In fact, we were very happy.
I was happy.
Funny, our excitement now with Amorim is nothing compared to our excitement when Erik ten Hag joined Man United. We are more excited about ETH than we are right now.
Sure.
Because we know of ETH's success with the Ajax team when he had all the players there with him before they began to go to other clubs.
The European exploit,
exactly.
We know how Ajax.
But now, a couple of months down the line, 1 year has passed, almost as if the players are the ones now dictating to him what they want to do. So if that happens,
and that's where the problem lies.
That's exactly
the players.
If that happens again with Amorim, bro, we're going to be back to the drawing board. And I feel like one thing that enables the players to do these things is the board and the fans. So I feel like everybody now,
the fanboys,
including Man United fans,
Marcus Rashford FC,
exactly,
Bruno Fernandes
we
FC,
all have
Garnacho FC,
we have to back
all
the
those
coach.
division, among
we
fans.
have to back the coach. These boys are not playing like Man United players, in quote.
In terms of standard,
I mean,
we
watched the likes of Anderson, we watched the likes of Michael Carrick, we watched the likes of Raphael, the twin brothers that played for Man. Even at a time, I can even still tell you that I watched the likes of Phil Jones before he actually dropped form at the end of the day, of course. But then these ones, too lazy for me. Our midfield, empty. Nothing is there. Although we have a certain Ugarte, who's doing his job and all that. Kobe Mino back from injury and all that as well. I feel like, for my United fans listening right now, watching this podcast right now, we need to back the coach more than the players, honestly, because these players.
Well, I feel
to write them about.
I feel with the help of few players that are ready to do the job, like you mentioned maybe now, the likes of Ugarte, the likes of Kobe Mainoo, who we all see as prospects, Lenny Euro that just joined the team. We all saw these guys what they did last season, and we are hoping that with the new idea Amorim is bringing into Manchester United system, these guys will catch up, and January transfer window, new guys that try to bring in, and if he is able to bring new guys in, I'm sure and I'm hopeful Amorim will do wonders with Man United, because his style that he's bringing, we've seen it has worked somewhere else, and I believe it will work at Man United too if he gets the right player to work with. On this note, we've come to the end of today's edition of our Football Gazette podcast. Join us next time, and I'm Adeshola. Here with me is Olushola.
I'll buy you
here with us
for now.
Bye.